Okay. Do you want me to say it out loud?
Yeah, say it out loud.
Okay, 17.
Okay, I'll tell you why after. We're going to channel Steffi a little bit here, just a little bit.
Okay.
But we'll save that for later because good morning, everybody. We are live now on the Love Pod. And today we have Cassie from the Circle. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm excited that you're here. You are a busy lady, and we are so thrilled that you could come on the show and chat with us. We have a lot of questions for you. We've got fan questions, and we've got some games to play. So I saw that you are a bit of a reality TV fan. Now, we don't get too many reality stars who also watch a lot of reality TV too. So tell me what your favorite show is and if that influenced your decision to apply for the Circle.
Well, like you said, I love all things reality TV, and this is going to make me sound so ridiculous, but every single year on the very first episode of Big Brother, when that music starts and Julie's standing there, I cry like a baby, literally like a nut job. I just start crying. I just love it. That's my dream, is to be on Big Brother. But I love all reality. It doesn't matter if it's a love show, if it's competition shows, or just watch it like the Kardashians or whatever. I love it all. I love it all.
That's so awesome. Have you applied to Big Brother?
No, because I have 5 kids and I can't be gone for 3 months. Now, maybe they get a little older, but like my youngest baby, she's just 5. And I don't think that I can be gone that long right now.
I didn't realize how long it went on. I feel like some of these shows get longer and longer. Like Married at First Sight, I feel like never ended this season. And
Big Brother is 3 months now. See, the Circle was just 3 weeks. So it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, it's a lot easier. And I feel like it went a lot quicker this season too. Like there weren't as many new additions and things like that. You guys had such big personalities. They just couldn't fit more people into the Circle.
Right. I know. I was hoping though, they always have the twist where somebody comes back. And I just knew that was going to be me, and it didn't happen. I was like,
Well, maybe another season. Maybe you'll come back on in a future season. We'd love to see more of you. I said my favorites. I mean, I love you. I love Brandon. I love Caress. Like everybody's getting knocked out. Autumn, horseback ride. So she's my spirit animal. So I'm not doing great in my bracket this season, but here's to future episodes. I know that you applied to be on the Circle. So what was that like?
Well, I had never even watched the Circle before. My best friend, Michael Davidson, he was on the Traders. We've been friends for like 20 years or whatever. And he was like, I know you can't do Big Brother because of the time frame. You should really apply for the Circle. It's basically the same thing, except you're by yourself versus being in a house with everybody. So I was like, okay, I mean, worst case scenario, they don't email me back, right? So I literally just applied, and I sent a few DMs to the casting people, and I got a phone call, like legitimate, within like 5 minutes after applying. And then after that, it went so fast. Like every day there were new Zooms and new interviews. And before I knew it, I was on a plane going to Georgia.
Oh my goodness. What was how quick was it from when you applied to when you actually left to film?
I'm going to say like 2 months.
Okay.
It was a process, but I know I said 2 months, but it didn't seem like 2 months because every day they had you doing something else, like uploading pictures and videos and Zooms and like little stuff like that. So it went by really fast, even though it was like 2 months.
It was like a full-time job just to get ready, huh?
Yeah, literally.
So do you have any interesting, were there interesting questions on the application or in the interview that really stood out to you?
Not really, only because I'm an open book. Like, you can ask me anything and everything, and I'll just tell you, I do not give a crap. So to me, that was just, those interview questions were nothing. It was like, well, I'll answer that. I don't care. It wasn't no big deal.
Was there any point where you considered catfishing instead of coming on as yourself?
Well, during the interview, they ask you, do you want to be yourself or do you want to go in as a catfish? And I told them I just wanted on. I didn't care what I had to do or who I had to be. I just wanted on. And then, like, during, I think it was my second interview, they were like, so we've decided you're going to be yourself. And I was like, okay, good. Because I don't think I could have really been a catfish.
I think that would be really hard. We spoke with Alex is a friend of ours from season 1, and he obviously catfished. And I was like, I don't know how you keep your story straight. I don't know how you act like another person the whole time when you've got to chat. That just seems really, really hard to do. But props to everybody who catfishes and gets away with it.
I know, because like I barely can like handle me, let alone handling me and pretending to be somebody else. I can't do it.
Did you have a strategy going in where you wanted to like catch the catfish, or what was your plan?
Well, for me, in the circle, being a catfish doesn't mean you can't win. Like you can still win being a catfish or not. So my goal wasn't to get the catfishes out, because really what's the point? So my strategy was I didn't have one. Like I just go with the flow. I feel like I'm very adaptable and I know how I am. I know that if I had a plan and then they threw in a twist or whatever and I would have to start all over, I would be screwed. I'd be like, oh my God, what do I do now? So I just thought it'd be best if I just went in and winged it. And it obviously didn't work, so I don't suggest that whatsoever.
Did you end up watching prior seasons to take any notes or anything?
Yeah. After I applied and I got the first phone call, I was like, okay, this is serious. I'm going to have to watch this. And me and Nate both watched 1 through 5, like in a week. And I was like, okay, I've really got to watch this and figure out what I'm going to be doing. But once you're there, and see, that's another thing. It's so easy when you're sitting on the couch to be like, I would do this and I would say that. Yep. But once you're there, no, it's totally different.
It's really not black and white. We are the first ones to judge. We have a reality TV podcast. We talk a lot of trash. Nothing I wouldn't say to anybody's face, but shows like The Circle, not as bad. Love is Blind, when we see these messy relationships and breakups, and then people come for the cast so hard. And even you guys, it's a reality competition. You're trying to compete for money. I don't understand the hate and the personal attacks. It is crazy to me that they're getting death threats. Have you had any extreme fans on one end or the other?
It's about 50-50. Either they absolutely love me or they absolutely hate me. But I've got really thick skin. I come from the world's smallest town, legit. Like we only have like 3 red lights. If anything's been said about me, it's already been said about me. And I don't really care. And I think everything is funny. Like I'll even get on Twitter and like type my name in and crack up. It doesn't bother me. But not everybody is like that. You know what I mean? A lot of people are sensitive. But luckily, I can laugh at myself. Because like the number one thing on Twitter is my voice, how cringy it is. And I think it's hilarious. So
I love your accent.
Press is press, if you ask me. You know what I mean?
That is true. What are you going to do with this newfound fame? Do you have any plans in the works? Is there anything you can share with us?
Well, I wouldn't say that I'm famous. I wouldn't say that I've got any fame.
You were on a hit Netflix show, so you don't have to say it, but I'm going to throw it out there. I would like to see a spinoff with you and Brandon.
I know. Would that not be wonderful? Like, I don't have any like pull or connection to do that, but if I did, I would totally be pitching that. So hopefully somebody out there is pitching that for me and him. Because all I can think about is like the Simple Life 2.0. With like me and Brandon going and doing whatever. I think that would be so fun.
I love that. I was thinking like even just following you guys in your day-to-day lives, but a resurrection of the Simple Life would make my life. Like I would love that. And it looks like you've got some love from Brandon is watching right now. Hi, Brandon. We love you. We're talking about you. I love him too. I love you both. It seems like you guys knew each other forever the second you walked into his apartment.
Well, it was so funny because I walked in and it didn't even register to me that he was a man and not,
He wasn't
not
Olivia.
a woman. And there's even the clip where I'm like, oh yeah, but you're right. It's like as soon as I walked in and our eyes caught each other, it was like true love at first sight.
Yeah, it really seemed meant to be in a way that no season of Love is Blind has ever recaptured.
Literally. But what was so funny, and Brandon, he can type in on this too, they cut it. And to me, it was the best part. They didn't cut anything out of me and him meeting each other for the first time. But this one part, I was so used to my room being so pretty, and on TV, looking at his room, it's very bright. But in person, it was like a dungeon. It was super dark. And I sit there and I'm like, your room is so ugly. Like, how do you stand it so dark?
That was actually my favorite room. So
yes,
did you?
Well, I'm telling you, in person, it was like a dungeon. It was super, super dark, purple.
Oh no. Well, I loved it. And we loved your Barbie theme room too. Did they ask you questions about like interior design or what you liked, or because it seemed very custom to your personality, especially your apartment specifically.
Mine, they nailed it. It couldn't have got any more Cassie Sailor than what it was. I never told them anything. I guess when they creep on my Instagram and my TikTok and my Facebook, and every interview I had a pink shirt on because it's my favorite color. I think they just loved me so much. I don't know.
How could you not? Anybody giving you hate? But I loved the themes. I could see a little bit of each original cast member's personality, obviously, when you switch into a new person with a new apartment. But I also dug into your Instagram, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. And Barbie's definitely a prominent theme throughout your very extensive Instagram history. I had to go way back. I always go back to the beginning. You are a gem. I love the transformation from like the very beginning to now.
I think I created it in like 2011. So I would have been like, I just turned 30. I don't even want to talk about it. I would have been like, 17?
I just turned 40. So I feel it. And do you ever get, this is total aside, but like the timeline reminders or time hops of 10, 15, 20 years ago?
Yes, it's depressing. Very depressing.
It is embarrassing. It is so embarrassing. I just delete everything. The drunk college days, the embarrassing beginner's emo statuses.
Yes. If I would have like really truly thought that I was going on, I probably would have went and deleted all of my Instagram pictures. But oh well.
Do you think 17-year-old beginner Instagram Cassie would have played the game the same way as you today?
No, she was a lot dumber. It would have been way worse. I mean, I know I'm not the smartest, but just a little bit more than what I was at 17.
All right. But you never know. Maybe that would have worked out because your innocence would have swayed the fan base. Maybe.
I've already got so many bless your hearts. I've lost count.
Oh, no. You never want to bless your heart.
Nope.
That is my favorite insult of all time. Even though I'm not Southern, I use it all the time. Now, I know obviously who your other favorite cast member is from your season, but who is your favorite cast member from a prior season?
I love Sam from season 5. Absolutely loved her. As soon as I started watching that season, I was like, I hope she wins. Love her. And she was actually one of the first ones to reach out after the cast had dropped. So I was like, I knew I loved her for a reason. But no, she is my absolute fave.
Oh, good. Do you guys have a little network of either Circle Cast or Netflix Cast that everybody kind of keeps in touch?
My season, we've got a group chat with all of us in it. But as far as like prior, no. Like they've all I won't say all, but a handful of them have reached out personally, but we don't have like a group chat or anything with all the Circle
Sure.
cast.
Yeah. I would love to see that. I know there's a lot of interaction between the Love is Blind casts, and then like I've seen season 1 of The Circle, they all get together with other cast members too. So you guys have to have some kind of reunion or like big celebration. It's been 6 seasons.
We actually are this Saturday. Everybody's going out to LA and we're having like a rap party.
Oh.
So I do know a lot of the prior cast will be there. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, my invite must have gotten lost in the mail. I live in Phoenix.
Well, come on out, Sissy.
Yeah. Okay. So I know you have experience as a catfish previously, and there are a lot of women and men who may need to catfish for similar reasons. So what tips do you have for playing a catfish?
My biggest tip is playing it cool. Like, I'm one of those, if I'm guilty, you can see it all over my face. Like, if I know something, I can't hardly bite my tongue, but you've got to have a made up mind and you've got to say, I can't rat on myself. Because if you rat on yourself, you blew it. You blew the whole thing.
Was that, I mean, it must have been hard, but was that hard feeling like when you're in the circle? You had mentioned that catfish didn't really matter to you. I think that the same as well. Like, that's not the point of the game. It does seem to be a focus for a lot of people on prior seasons. But did that change your relationships once you met everybody in person, whether they were real or not?
No, I could have cared less.
Good.
Like, truly, honestly, could have cared less. Like, for instance, Chris and Paul. I thought she was Paul the whole time. I didn't see her until finale night. And like, now I love her. She's one of, like, as a fan and watching the show, she's one of my favorites. She's so funny.
Yeah.
So, and if anything, I wish she and Brandon both would have come in as theirself, you know, because they are so funny and they are so lovable and relatable. I feel like they're all very relatable to me. So, but no, it didn't make me think anything negative towards them.
I didn't think so, but you never know. And I thought the same thing. I've seen that a lot as well, that they should have come in as themselves. And I think I love their personalities, but it makes the game fun to have those catfish. Maybe a dual profile.
Because, I mean, Brandon is still being himself. You know what I mean? And then, like, Chris, she's throwing the word bro in. But, I mean, she's still being her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
once you see them, you can put it together.
Yeah.
Now, you've talked about your fiance, and we've seen videos of your family, 5 children. So what were their reactions to you getting cast on the show and being gone?
Honestly, they're so young. The smallest one, like I said, is 5. And then we've got 2 8-year-olds and then 11 and 12-year-old. And, you know, this was filmed last October. So at the time, they were all a year younger than what they are now. I don't really think it registered to them exactly what that meant. Like going and being on Netflix. It was all excited. And I left. And with our custody, we both have 50-50. It's week on, week off. So I was technically, because I had them the week that I left, and I left on a Friday. So I technically was only gone for a week from them because they were at their mom's and their dad's house. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
But like I said, I really don't think it clicked with them, like how big of an ordeal that it really was. You know what I mean? Because they're little. And I was telling, you know, my 8-year-old, I was like, there was 47,000 people applied, and they picked me out of all those people. And she's like, well, that's cool. I'm like, it's more than cool.
Yeah, really. Have they seen the show?
Yeah. Every Wednesday that they're here, you know, we'll pile on the couch and we'll watch it. And then, you know, like I said, we do week on, week off. And the following week, they're like FaceTiming, you better not be watching this circle without us. And we're like, okay.
Now, I know one of your daughters had a very cool experience with Paul. Will you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, my little Caroline Jubilee. So this is going to make me sound terrible. So obviously, I knew the song, but I just didn't have a face with the song.
Yeah, me either.
Because it was all over TikTok, people dancing to it, not necessarily him. And when we found out that Paul was Paul, I was like, oh my God, I love him, but I hate him because that's the only flipping song that has been in my car for the last 6 months. So I knew that I had to reach out and basically was like, please do this. She's your biggest fan. And he didn't even hesitate. He done it like within 30 minutes, I feel like. I got it instantly. And I just thought that was so nice because you know how busy he is. Now, he's really famous. You know what I mean? I'm not. He is. And I just thought that was so nice that he took the time out of his day for my little Caroline.
Yeah, absolutely. That was so sweet. And her reaction was so cute and so genuine. I love that. If anybody, we'll ask later too, but where can we follow you on TikTok and Instagram so that people can go see it?
Yeah, hop on there on Instagram. It's Cassie, Cassie, C Sailor, Saylor. That's my Instagram. And my TikTok is the @ dumb blondie Cassie.
Yes, it is.
Very fitting.
I'm glad that you can laugh at yourself and have a sense of humor because I wouldn't expect that you guys would get too much hate or too much bad reactions from being on the circle. But hey, you know, everybody's got to have something in their life to fixate on.
Well, I got this one message and it was so mean and I couldn't help but laugh because like, how can you be that mean? It was basically saying that I was nothing but an idiot and my children were going to be idiots and I was breeding idiots. And I was like, thank you so much. Hope you have a fabulous day.
Bless your heart.
Yeah, for real.
Speaking of messages, I saw you on Cameo. So what are those requests like? Is there anything weird going on over there?
Actually, so far, so good. I've had a lot of birthdays. I actually just had one yesterday. Shout out to him. He was 5 years sober, and I thought that was wonderful. Yeah, then I've had obviously Mother's Days this weekend. I've had like 3 or 4 Mother's Days, but I did have one request. It was a little odd. They wanted to get to know me more, and it was like, am I articulate? Like, am I ticklish? And if so, where? What's my irks? What's my biggest pet peeves?
Oh boy!
And I thought, well, that's a little odd, but I mean, I've done it. I don't care.
That's an OnlyFans subscription. Wrong site. Wrong site.
Yeah, wrong site.
Now, you did say Mother's Day is coming up. Hi, Mom, by the way. She's probably watching right now. So what are your kids are younger? I don't know if they're all into Mother's Day and all that. So what are you hoping for? What would your dream Mother's Day look like?
To leave me alone. Like, I just want to lay in the bed, not be disturbed, and just let me live my best life for one day. No, I'm just kidding. Nate always makes sure that my day is wonderful. I'll wake up and I love McDonald's more than anything in this world. It's my favorite. So he always goes and gets me like the big breakfast platter from McDonald's, and all the kids come in there and bring it to me, and they've all got a card and flowers.
Aww.
Yeah, and normally we plant a lot of flowers. Around Mother's Day in Kentucky is always really pretty. So we'll go outside and we'll put flowers in the flower pots, and then we'll have dinner, and we just spend a lot of time together.
Oh, good. I know you mentioned when you first walked into your apartment on the circle that you were excited to be by yourself for the first time in ages. Did you feel, because it seems like you guys are very isolated, you don't have social interaction in person with anybody other than the production team. So was that a good vacation for you? Were you ready to leave when you got blocked?
Like I said earlier, I feel like I'm very adaptable. Like, I can be in a room full of people and live my best life, or I can be completely isolated in the circle by myself and live my best life. Like, I've just always been that way. I can be very introverted, and then I can be very extroverted. So
would you have done anything differently?
Yeah, I would have kissed butt. Like, I would have absolutely went in there and kissed everybody's hind end and been all fake, and like, I'm just, I should have done that. I really should have done that.
I don't know. I don't think Lauren is fake at all, but it seems like she is genuinely nice to everybody. Oh, okay.
Sorry, my face. While I was there, but now I know her and I know that it's completely different. But while I was there, and I'm not the only one who said it, like, she's so nice. Like, how can you be that nice? Mm-hmm. But in person, She really is that nice. And I even
Mhm.
said it, like, I don't know anybody that's this nice. Like, they have to be a phony. But she got farther than I did, so
That
it
is
worked.
true. And we don't know how it worked out yet. We haven't seen the finale is, oh my God, it's
It's
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. I got to stay up late tonight. I'm ready to go. Get my popcorn.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you mentioned there were some little bits that didn't air, not too much, but is there anything in particular that happened besides your meeting with Brandon that you wish had aired or didn't air?
Yes, the whole conversation in the group chat when I was talking to Miles and I said hashtag blonde moment. I literally was cracking up. I thought it was funny because, first off, you don't get to just go to their profiles anytime you wanted to. I didn't
Okay.
know that. So I didn't write anything down because I just thought, well, if I wanted to know something, I can just pull it up, not the case.
Okay.
So I
Yeah.
had no idea that he was an AI engineer until he brought it up.
Okay.
So, like I said before, I think everything's funny. So I was cracking up, but they make you repeat it over and over. And I think the clip that they showed was when after I had said it 10 times and I was over it and I was like, one moment. But my first original reaction was, that's something I would do, blonde moment. I really wish they would have kept that and not made it out like I was attacking him.
Okay, that's fair. I think there are always some editing tricks, and I didn't know until recently that you guys had to rehash out these conversations sometimes, no matter the show, to get a good reaction. So I never thought of it that way either. That must be frustrating.
Yeah. That's why you just always got to have your game face on and make sure you nail it the first time. That way you don't have to do it 10 times.
Now, you had said you're not Paul's level of fame, but it seems like you're a fan of Afterpay. You've got some brands that I could see some potential opportunities with. So, are you in talks to get sponsored by anybody yet? Do you think there's going to be any opportunities like that for you?
I mean, I could only hope and dream, but have I been reached out to? No, not yet. Hint, hint. Let's get that going. But that would be a dream because it's embarrassing, really. When we get off this, I'll send you the screenshot of my Afterpay, how many purchases that I have going out right now. I mean, why spend 100 when you can spend 20 4 times?
Yeah, it's totally valid and legit. We'll tag them. Maybe we can get them to help you out. You should be the face of Afterpay.
Yeah, that'd be great. Because I mean, literally, they can look at my account and know that I am a faithful.
Now, I have to ask you, Cassie, this is probably the most controversial question. What did you think pickles were made from?
I never thought about it. Honestly, I never truly thought about it. I just thought it was like every other fruit or vegetable. It just
It just grew on trees.
come out of the ground.
Now, I hate to burst your bubble. Actually, you might not mind. I am anti-pickle, but I found out recently, and this broke my heart, that Chick-fil-A marinates their chicken in pickle juice. So,
See, I hate pickles and I hate cucumbers.
me too.
I hate them
Yes.
both. So that's
Yes.
probably why I didn't know they were both the same. But what's so funny about that is I love Chick-fil-A. And we don't have one where I'm from. The closest one to me is an hour away. So every time we're in that direction, I always swing through. And I hate pickles, so I order mine plain. But you're right, they do.
Yeah.
And I just can't believe I love it because I'm the world's pickiest eater. Legit. I don't hardly eat
Same.
nothing.
Yeah, I hate pickles. I don't even like them to touch my plate.
They smell so bad.
And the juice gets it. Yeah. All right. That's a different podcast, the Pickle Pod. Now we have some fan questions for you. So we took questions on Instagram. They are not bad, I promise. One is a little strange, but we're going to ask it anyway and see if you know the reference. So Whitley Davidson, I'll just give you some background. She is a small town, or they are a small town person. I didn't look at the profile picture. Sorry, Whitley. Lives in Campbell County, Tennessee now, but her husband or their husband is from Manchester, Kentucky, and their mother-in-law lives in Burning Springs. So she wanted to know how you think living in a small town prepared you to do a competition show.
I think I touched on it earlier about having thick skin. Because in a small town, I'm telling you, they will talk about you because they don't have anything else to talk about. You know what I mean? Because we literally are like 10 years behind when it comes to like our way of living and our social, you know what I mean? So
Sure.
I think having tough skin from being a small town, from coming from a small town, really helped. And also for me, being in a small town, I talk to a lot of people because that's all there is here is people, because we only have like 3 restaurants. Our Walmart doesn't even sell food. So you don't have anything else to do but to talk. So I think that helped too, like being very social.
Has people's reactions in your town to you changed now that you're on the show?
No, because they already knew me. Does that make sense? Because it's so small. Like everybody knows everybody. Like, for instance, my little girl's teacher, I graduated high school with her. So, I mean, everybody knows everybody.
Okay. Now, here's the interesting one, and it's a movie reference or a movie quote. So this one is from, gonna butcher this name, Ramius Rostinov, and they want to know, what is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow? And do you know what movie that's from?
I couldn't tell you what that's from. I have no idea.
I didn't know either. It is from Monty Python. I haven't seen it in like 100,000 years. And I said I was going to ask it anyway.
I don't even know what that is.
It is a weird, weird movie. You either love it or hate it. It's
is it on Netflix?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I'll look, but I don't know. It's an older movie. And then our final question from the fans comes from Lyra EB. How do you feel about Miles now that you've seen the show?
I feel kind of what put my foot in my mouth. Like when it comes to the question, how do you go into, I think Jordan asked, how do you come into the ratings? And I said, well, at the end of the day, it's a game. I'm very blunt. Like, if you don't want to know something, do not ask me. And I feel like Miles is the same way. And that just makes me love and appreciate him even more. You know what I mean? Because either just like me and him, either you love us or you hate us. And I'm all about full transparency. It is what it is. He's not going to sugarcoat it. And I love that. So I still like him just like I did on the show, even though he painted a target on my back, but and he can play it off like it was a roast, and technically it was, but I feel like I was calling out his like game when I said #no game, as far like leaning that towards like his pickup lines and him hitting on Corey Tyler, not his actual circle game. So I thought I was being nice, but calling somebody a snake is not nice.
No, it's not. All in the love of the game. All's fair when $100,000 is on the line.
Yeah, don't blame him. I wish I would have done it. Now, looking back, like with all that anonymous stuff, I should have went hard. I should have just gave it to him.
Did you guys get each other's drawings? Did they give them to you?
No, I just posted on my story today.
I saw that.
I was scrolling through. There's a Facebook group of the circle, and somebody had posted it. So I shared it on my story, and even he said that he wanted their original. So I wasn't the only one who didn't get mine. Apparently nobody did.
Oh, all right. Did you get anything from set? Any mementos?
Yeah. I don't really know if I'm allowed to say this. I mean, I'm going to go to jail.
No. We don't want to get you in trouble.
Oh, sorry.
We don't want to get you in trouble.
It ain't no big deal. During our circle party, it's hot in here party, I have these round circle glasses. I did keep those. And then my room was full of candy. And it really didn't show that a lot, but there was candy everywhere. Big, huge gumballs and suckers. And I did take one big sucker for each kid.
Oh,
when I got home. Yeah.
That's a
Which I did ask for that. I didn't ask about the glasses, but I did ask about the candy, and they said, yeah.
They were going to throw them out anyway. Yeah. I'm sure they don't mind about stuff like that. Now is one of my favorite parts of the show. It is our Instagram deep dive, where we went way back into your Instagram history. As I mentioned before, we're going to start out easy on you.
Okay,
we're going to start with your moment when you met Olivia. So I'm going to ask you a brief description of what's going on for people who are listening audio only, and then what you thought during that moment.
Okay.
So here is a clip of you walking into the apartment.
I can't hear anything, but if you can hear it, it goes really silent because I'm like, well, because I didn't see him like on the couch behind the pillows. I was like, well, this is awkward. Where are you at?
No.
And then when those pillows moved and we just started screaming, I was like, ah! And then it hit me finally. Oh my God, this is a man.
Yeah, it didn't seem like there was 1 second where it seemed like you knew exactly who was going to be there and what was going to be going on. It didn't.
And I had no idea. And he was like, because we were standing so far apart, and he was like, well, can I hug you? And I'm like, well, yeah, come on. It was fun.
I don't think there is sound on these, just so you know. It's just the video clips. So then the next one is you getting your very own day in your town, which just happens to be which date is Cassie Sailor Day?
420. I said, as if they don't already think that I'm goofy enough. They probably think I'm a big smoker and that's why I'm so goofy, when really that is not the case. I get drug tested for work, okay? It is not legal in Kentucky yet. But that was super, I thought that was really sweet. And I know I've said it 100 times, I'm from a super small town, and I just thought that was so nice that they done that for me, because they didn't have to. And I really don't know what we're going to do next year on that day, but we're going to have fun.
I said, did it come with any perks? Did you get free breakfast for life at one of the restaurants? A giant key?
I didn't even ask. I was so embarrassed because, like, I know the mayor, and like his wife is my mom's best friend, so it was really awkward having all this attention on me over something as far as just a TV show. So I felt very uncomfortable for the first time in a long time.
Did you know that it was going to happen?
Yeah, they had reached out and was like, we want to honor you this, blah, blah, blah. Will you please come up here? So like I knew, but it was still really, I don't know. I just don't like the spotlight here. Now you can give it to me on the internet all you want, but like the mayor, you know what I mean? It's weird.
All right. I mean, I would think it would be weirder going on Netflix, but to each their own. I don't know. Okay. Next one, the inspiration for your Barbie themed apartment.
Yeah, so that photo, here's a little tea, I guess you can say. That was 2 days post-divorce breakup. Well, we wasn't officially divorced, but that was 2 days after we decided, we were going to move out, whatever. After I was told I was chubby, nobody was going to want me with 2 kids and blah, blah, blah. And in the back of my mind, I was thinking, they want me while I have you, let alone when I don't have you. And I can lose this baby weight because Caroline was literally like 3 months old at the time. I just had a baby. And I thought, all I got to do is post one good picture, change my profile picture, and my inbox will be full. Don't worry.
Your revenge plan.
Yep. And it worked.
It obviously
like
worked.
2 days later, well, maybe not 2 days, maybe a week later, Nate, my fiance now, reached out and asked to take me on a date. So it worked.
Aw. Now I skipped one. I hope Jordan can go back. I forgot about what we should have started with. Your very first entrance into the circle. What was filming that like? What was your mindset going in?
So basically, you walk into a closet. It's so small, and there's the green screen, and then there's a camera guy in a hole, and her name was Allison, and she was to the left of me. And they kept saying, "Don't look at me, look at the camera." But every time when I would get done, you can see in those clips, I would like look over to her because she's asking you questions, and it's I don't want to use the word live, but they're recording.
Yeah,
and I don't get nervous. I was really nervous. And finally I looked at her and I was like, you know what? This is once in a lifetime. Let's start over. Let's go. And we started over, and you see what happened. I got on.
Yeah. So behind the scenes, we obviously see you get to pick your profile pictures and the pictures you share, but do they pull pictures for you to narrow it down, or can you just carte blanche pick from whatever you want?
I know that there's been other cast mates that are very dominant and I want this. I'm not. I'm very laid back. I sent my pictures and then they send you an email with like hundreds of pictures that you have to approve that they can use. And they actually got on my Facebook and my Instagram and got more pictures that I hadn't posted. And actually, the
Uh-oh.
profile picture that they picked, I didn't pick that. I had picked the one that's on my Instagram right now.
Oh.
But like I said, I was like, okay, obviously you all know what you're doing. If you think that one looks best, then obviously I'm going to go for it. So
Wait, so they picked pictures that you haven't posted? What do you mean by that? Like they're in
I
your
don't mean that I didn't send in to them.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking
Yeah.
like, did they find your drafts somehow? Or
No,
get your
no, I
password?
can't. Like you have to send them in an email the pictures that you like of yourself. But they had
Got it.
actually went to my Facebook and got some that I had not sent to them.
Got it. Okay. That's fair. It's like, what kind of access do these crazy people have to your Facebook? All right. Now we're only going to do one really old throwback. We're not going to toss you under the bus too bad, but here is the next one. Tell us, describe the photo and tell us the context of this one.
Okay, well, we were at Dick's Last Resort restaurant, and if you don't know what that is, they give you basically condom hats, and they're really rude and they're really mean, and you can't ask them any questions because they're going to talk to you like you're an idiot. And on these condom hats, they write mean stuff on there, and as you can, well, for those who can't see, it says easier than community college, and I legitimately was about 16 years old in that picture. Legit. So it's super cringe and I cannot believe that's on there. I'm getting, as soon as I get off this podcast, I'm going and deleting it.
It's too late, Cassie. It's too late.
It's too late now. I guess I might as well keep it. But I had forgot about that. Oh my God.
Oh, I told you I went way back.
You sure did.
I got to make sure you find anything good that's on there. And we went through your TikTok too, but it's the same as your Instagram. So we didn't find anything incriminating on there.
No.
Now, if you remember right at the beginning of our recording, I asked you to pick a number between 1 and 54. Yes. So I started channeling Steffi a little while ago, and I got this spirit animal deck. Now, I don't know the rules of how you're supposed to read these, and it's a little difficult when you're not in person anyway. So there's a 54 card deck. I asked you to pick a number. You picked number 17. So while we were chatting, I counted to number 17, and I apologize, Steffi, if I'm doing this wrong, but your card is the Scorpion of New Beginnings. There we go. So I'm going to read this to you. I haven't read it yet. And you tell me if it applies at all.
Okay.
You are invited to instigate change, but you are also being warned that this transformation may be radical. Get rid of everything in your current life that can prevent you from improving. Based on this principle, destroy before rebuilding. You are promised a beneficial rebirth. Does that apply at all?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything you want to share?
I don't want to cry.
Okay. Don't cry.
So I love, reality, and I feel as if like social media, for those who can't be on a reality show that streams all that, like follows you around like the Kardashians or whatever, I feel like social media can replace that for those who don't have that luxury.
Sure.
And I have been going back and forth. Do I quit my job and really buckle down and become an influencer or whatever, or do I stay? And to me, that's kind of telling me to get rid of everything that I'm doing. You know what I mean? Quit my job.
Uh-oh. I've seen your videos of your boss. I don't know how that's gonna go. Well, I'll send you a picture of this so you have it as a memento.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Okay. Now we're we're going to do at least one game. We'll see how timing goes. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but we have 4 games for you to choose from. Some of them are self-explanatory, so I'll give a brief description in case anybody hasn't heard of them before, but I'll let you pick which one you want to do first. So the first one is awkward first date questions or icebreakers, where we ask you questions when there are awkward silences on a first date that might be good to fill in the silence. The next one is pick a partner, where we ask you to pick a cast member, male or female, from your show you would do a scenario with. So it might be go to karaoke or survive a zombie apocalypse. So that's another option. Then we have Never Have I Ever, which of course, famous party game. You have to share if you've done this or not. It's usually a drinking game, but it is 9:30 in the morning here. So feel free to partake if you like. I'm going to stick with coffee. And Would You Rather, where you choose between 2 scenarios what you would rather do. So now I'm going to ask you which game you would rather play.
Oh my gosh, those all sound so fun. Like literally, I don't have a preference. Let's flip a quarter. Just pick one because I'm down.
Okay. You know what? I always want to play pick a partner and nobody ever chooses that one. So we're going to do that one. Okay. Pick a partner that you would switch lives with. And it's okay to love your life, but if you had to.
That was a hard one because they all seem to have like the same life I do, just kind of normal. Let's go with Corey Tyler because I have always cheered. I'm actually a cheer coach. She's cheered or danced for, you know, the NBA. So that would be fun. I'd like to do that. So I would switch with her.
Okay. Do you still dance? Do you still, you know, keep active with that?
I wasn't necessarily on a dance team. I always cheered, but no, I'm too old. I'm 30. I can't cheer, but I do.
Please, girl.
But I do coach my little girls and my stepkids' cheer team for their school.
That's awesome. I saw Autumn doing dance competitions, so I don't know if maybe you did something similar.
I ain't got no rhythm like that. You know, cheer is just like punch motions, being real stiff. I ain't got the groove to do all that.
Pick a cast member to switch bodies with.
Autumn.
Okay.
Have you seen her butt? It is round and juicy, and I want it. Mine's flat as a pancake.
I didn't know if maybe you'd want to experience life as a guy.
No, that sounds boring. Who wants to?
Pick a partner you'd want to live with.
Brandon.
I thought that might be the case. My mom is blowing up my phone. And what about somebody you'd want to be stranded on a desert island with?
I'm going to have to go with Kyle only because he's in shape and he could run up a tree and grab some bananas or go swim in the ocean and like do all the hard stuff because I would be out.
I love how your gauge of who you'd want to spend time with is who could climb a tree. That's great.
Just somebody that's in shape that's going to go like build us a little house or whatever. I'm
going to be a provider. Yeah. Okay. Who would you want to commit a crime with?
Probably Lauren because she's so nice and nobody would ever believe it. They'd be like, "There's no way this girl done that." I'd be like, "Yeah, for real." So I want to be next to her.
It's always the ones you don't expect. Who would you want to survive a zombie apocalypse with?
Well, I think if it was down to me and Brandon, we would just die. We're 2 hot messes. I don't think we would last 5 minutes. I don't know. That's a really hard one. Maybe Jordan because he's funny, but yeah, he's still serious. So we can have a good time, but still get down to business.
All right. Now, Jordan's probably the most controversial cast member so far.
And he's my favorite. Well, they're all my favorites, but I love how he's just putting it out there and just doing it. I mean, when you come in late, you have no other choice.
And he really seems to embrace the reactions well and makes fun of himself. And it's good to see. I didn't agree with his gameplay either. I mean, I got the concept. thought maybe he was targeting the wrong people. But I like to see that you guys don't take it to heart and don't take it too seriously, because it's just a game. It's just a show.
Yeah.
And then finally on this game, who would you want to partner with on another reality show?
Brandon. I mean, we've got to get this going. We have to. I mean, we have to.
I know. I don't have any connections, but I will share this with whoever I can, and maybe we can make it happen. If there ever was potential for another reality show, this is it. We want The Simple Life with Cassie and Brandon. Please,
Yes.
please, please.
Or even like bring us back. They've already filmed The Circle season 7. So maybe bring us back for season 8, us catfishing or whatever, and us being there together, doing it together. That would be so fun.
Yeah, I said I would love to see a season where everyone's a catfish and maybe it's all past players.
Yeah,
so
that'd be
you
so
guys
fun.
come in together. Like, they've had duos come in besides Deuce, obviously, and Kyle. But I would love nothing more.
It'll be a lot of fun.
Now we've got time for one more game. So do you want to pick or do you want me to pick?
Go ahead. Like I said, I'm
All
down.
right.
This is fun.
Okay, let's do icebreakers. So what is your go-to karaoke song?
Dolly Parton, Working 9 to 5. It's my fave.
Are you a good singer, or are people running for the hills?
No, I can't carry a tune on the radio. I mean, it is terrible, but I don't want to, how do I say this? I don't want to sound like an alcoholic, but if I drink enough that night, I'll get up there. It never fails.
Oh yeah, please. I don't normally do karaoke, but I have had a few cocktails and decided Destiny's Child would be a great pick. Now, I know you guys had your little rap battle. Mine did not turn out as well, and did not realize how much rapping there was in a Destiny's Child song. So that was the end of my karaoke journey.
Well, next time you need to try some Dolly Parton. It's a lot of fun, and it's not that hard.
I will leave that to you. But if we go out in karaoke and you get me drunk enough, I just might.
Okay, sounds good.
Now, I know you are a gourmet chef and that you can cook anything. What is your go-to meal? You have to pick one meal. You got to eat it the rest of your life.
If I had to eat something for the rest of my life, does restaurants count, or just something like
we'll let you choose a restaurant. Okay, we'll
do 2. If I had to choose like something like at home, it would be pizza. Just throw it in the oven. It's not that hard. I have screwed it up a few times, but it's not that hard. But a restaurant, definitely McDonald's. # McDonald's all the way. Large Coke. Oh my God.
That's the collaboration we really need, is you and McDonald's.
Yeah.
I'd love to see it.
Cheeseburgers.
Or maybe you and like a boxed mac and cheese company.
Oh my God, I knew that was coming. I knew it. I mean, I'm not the cook or the brains of the family, okay? I'm just the disappointment.
How did you think the pasta was made?
I didn't know. Literally, I walked in and there's a pot thing, and it had the macaroni's already in it, and it had a bag of cheese laying on top of it, and it said cook this. So I just opened it up, poured the cheese in, put it on the stove. I didn't know that I had to like boil the noodles first.
You didn't like look at the box for further instruction?
There wasn't no box. It was already
it's already in the pot.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. Okay. We know your favorite reality show, but I'll ask you anyway. What is your favorite reality show?
Big Brother. But I don't know. Like, okay, that is my fave. But I do have some more, like the Traitors season 1 and season 2 was amazing. And I love House of Villains, which is new. I can't wait for season 2 of that.
House of Villains too. Have you seen it's on their YouTube now, but have you seen The GOAT?
I have seen a lot of posts about it. I'm not actually like dug into it to see what it really is, but I've seen a lot of posts about it.
If you like House of Villains, you have to watch The GOAT. The first episode, for anybody who hasn't seen it yet, is already up on their Instagram. It officially is on Amazon Freevee, on the 9th. And it is hilarious, and it has such a good mix of reality stars. Love is Blind, The Bachelor, Vanderpump Rules, Survivor, Real Housewives. Like there's just the best. The Circle, Joey's on there. So it is just the best of all worlds. And it has House of Villain vibes, but in a very different competitive way. Kind of the same elimination concept, but oh my God, we're going to cover it.
Maybe I can do that one next then.
Yes. Oh, please. I mean, I've only seen the one episode, but I have such high hopes. It is so funny. And I think you would fit right in there. I can't believe that they wouldn't do another season. It has so much potential.
I can't wait. I'll have to watch it.
Yeah. Okay. What is at the top of your bucket list?
The top of my bucket list. I really don't have a bucket list.
Well, we know you want to be on Afterpay, collab with Afterpay. We know you want to be on Big Brother or The GOAT. So those are two.
Well, I guess, yeah, when you look at it like that, yeah, I would love to take my kids to Disney World, honestly. Because when that was my goal going in, and if I was to have won the $100,000, that was going to be the very first thing that we were going to do, was go straight to Disney World. So I'm not going to give up, but a family of 7, because, I got 5 kids and me and Nate, it's very expensive. Very expensive for Disney, but I am not going to give up. So if you see me post 5,000 TikToks and Instagram posts today, it's because I'm trying to bring home some money to take them to Disney World.
Now, I don't have any big connections at Disney, but I lived in Orlando. I went to college there, and everybody, it's like a rite of passage. You work at Disney or Universal. I worked at Disney for about a year. And I did, for fun, I auditioned to be a cast member. You should, if you ever get the opportunity to go there, just go to the cast auditions, even if you have, like no desire to actually work there. It is some of the funniest things you will ever see in your whole entire life. People get so into it. Yeah, it is a good time. So just go over to casting headquarters, and it was quite interesting. It's like The Circle on steroids with only theater kids.
Oh my God. Yeah. That would be a lot.
Okay. Let's give you a good one. We'll wrap it up with what does the last text you sent say?
I'm going on a podcast. Do not call me.
Nice. I love it. Okay, Cassie. Well, that is our time for today. Tell us if there's anything you're working on you'd like to promote. And of course, again, where to follow you online.
I just want to say thank you all for jumping on here and listening to this Hot Mess Express. But you can follow me on Instagram at Cassie C. Sailor, or you can head over to TikTok and follow me at Dumb Blondie Cassie.
All right. And you can follow us at Love Pod Podcast in the same places, as well as Facebook, Reddit. I don't know if it's social media, we're on there. We try to be active as many places as we can. And of course, please subscribe to the Love Pod on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcasts, and give us those 5 stars. We really appreciate it as much as we appreciate you coming on today, Cassie. Thank you so, so much. We hope we get to see you on TV again soon.
I hope you do too.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.